All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man. Hope everybody's having a great Monday, man. It's Monday. Monday is the day you kind of get your gears back. I know for me it is because I went out and celebrated family birthday. Someone I call my little sis celebrated her birthday, and I was really I was kind of reeling yesterday. I was moving, but it wasn't quite turning just yet. I'm not that guy, man. I can't go out like that. But that's neither here nor there, man. Like I always say, man, make sure you guys continue to hit me up on social media. Back a little bit. Continue to support the merch. Check it out below. We got some new things up there. We got some things for October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, man. Anybody that ever been affected by something like that, my heart's out to you. All right, so let's talk about it, man. So I had a whole another video. When even if it was actually a football video, I was like getting it together and doing my research, and then all of a sudden, Doc Rivers had been released by the Los Angeles Clippers. We said they parted ways, mutually parted ways. I said, that ain't right. Pop up again. I'm like, this is legit. Let me say this though. I don't think Doc Rivers was the problem. I'm going to say this. I just think it needed time. And this is what I'm afraid with the Clippers. They're trying to rush things. All right, that didn't work. Get rid of him. That brains up. Stop. Nobody just get it. Nobody just get it. Like, you don't just get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and put them together and say, we should be in a championship every year. No. Now, I understand, but I thought Doc Rivers was the perfect coach for that situation. Let me explain something to you. When Doc Rivers speak, he's gonna, and he have the cachet where players are gonna listen. Even a Kawhi, even a Paul George, they're gonna listen. A strong-headed person like a Pat Beverly, who's one of the most opinionated and forceful and rightly deserved hard working, him, Montrez, these are greedy guys, but they're gonna listen, from my understanding, they're gonna listen to Doc Rivers. And I'm like, okay, he's the right coach for this. Yeah, it didn't work the first year. Okay, but you just start blowing it up. Now, the way they went out was a little embarrassing. They was up 3-1 and they was touted as that team, right? Like, that could happen to another team, not that team. So, but I get it, but I just thought they needed time. It was an adjustment. You put all these people together, and I get it. On paper, it looked great, but it's more to the story. But for me, I thought Doc Rivers, because he got a history of being a little lenient with his stars. Now, a lot of players don't like it because they say you treat stars so differently than you treat the main cast that it causes a little bit of dissension or separation. I don't know. I'm not in the huddle. I wish I was in the NBA huddle, but I'm not. But I felt like for those superstars that needed that, like Kawhi is that guy who he's going to load manage, and which was interesting for him to come out and say we just need to play more together and stuff like that. But I agreed. I was like, they just need more time. Like, it don't just happen. Put them together. Go get a championship. There you go. No, that's not how that works. It takes time. It takes building. They really never had chemistry. They never really did. Just being honest. They never really had like time where they just played and got in rhythm. It was always this person hurt, that person hurt, this person resting. Then you had the situation happen where the pandemic. Then you had the bubble, and then you had the Lou Will situation. Then Montrez loses his grandmother. It just felt like it was always something pulling and tugging where they couldn't come play together. I thought this team would be right back as a title favorite next year, which they still could be, but with the group they had, they just needed time. And this was probably a wake-up call that you ain't just going to sleepwalk your way into a championship. You're not just going to disregard the regular season, then pop up in the playoffs. All right, we got it now. We out of here. No. So I thought this past year was a humbling experience for them. You could thought we just going to roll out of bed and get it. But we're going to put the work in. We're going to build as a team, build some chemistry, put this thing together. Boom. We're going to show what really made up because we know they got the potential to win it all. Ain't nobody going to act like they don't. I'm not going to sit up here. I'm a Laker fan. We all know that, but I'm not a liar. That's what I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and just say, nah, they ain't gonna, nah, they can. No, they got the potential to win it all. I just thought they needed more time. Now let me say this: with Doc Rivers out, which I don't know how I feel about it, because who are you gonna bring in there that's gonna say, hey, you got that's a strong. You built this team this way. You built this team to be strong-willed, a bunch of gritty guys, and then you got your 2 superstars. But what you also got to understand is that coach got to be somewhat of a leader. That coach got to be somewhat of a leader because Kawhi's he's a talkative. You know, he known to talk with his teammates a little, but he's not like, rah, let's go. I'm leading on the court. I'm gonna get us fired up. He's not that guy. He said things because I remember when they were talking about him in Toronto, see when they went to play who was it? I think it was Golden State, and Nick Nurse was saying, hey, we want to split. You know, we go if we get split. You know, the first 2 games of the series we'll be in pretty good shape. And it was reported that Kawhi said, why not win them both? Why not let you go win them both? And, you know, it wasn't from, and this is all reported. It wasn't a matter of him being rah. It was like, nah, let's go get them both. And it was that type of, so he's that type of leader. So whatever coach you bring in, he's going to have a little bit of that eccentric leadership that I thought Doc had. He had cachet, he had swag. He had it to a point where you were going to listen. He earned that right. He got a trophy. You know what I'm saying? He's a champion, one of the best, if not the best coach in the NBA. Well, I ain't gonna say he's the best coach, but he's definitely in the top 1 or 2, 3. Honestly, I mean, Greg Popovich. Well, okay, I ain't gonna go into Greg Popovich, Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse. It's, you know what I'm saying? So who you gonna bring in there that's gonna really be able to get this group of guys? And then now, how would a new coach handle the Kawhi Leonard situation? Or is you gonna come in like, all right, well, you still gonna get to do your load management, but everybody else gonna work really hard? It gotta be one team, one fight, man. And again, this is just me throwing out different scenarios, but I just thought Doc was the guy. Just give it time to work. I think what happened, they pretty much gave up a lot for Paul George. Now, but wait, if I'm not mistaken, they got both Kawhi and Paul George got 1 more year, then they can opt out of their contracts. So now you're gonna bring a new guy. This new whoever coming in next gonna be under the pressure to win. You gotta win right now. Because if they fail twice in a row and Paul George walk, or Paul George ain't that guy, and now you're finna give up all of that. And this coach, to me, whoever come in, is gonna be put in a no-win situation unless it's either championship or bust. Because if I don't think you keep that together if it don't work. You know what I'm saying? I think that the Clippers learned a lot this season, especially in these playoffs. They learned a lot through the season, throughout the playoffs, that the teams that you gotta put the work in. It start with the work. And you gotta find a way to work together and play as much as possible. And that matters when it counts. So that's all I got, guys. Doc Rivers out as the Los Angeles Clippers head coach. Who next? With that being said, you guys be great.